Good day. We're going to learn about algebra. What are algebra? What is algebra? It's puzzles, solving unknown numbers that you need to solve. You've been solving these kinds of puzzles since you were in grade 1. For example, you got a box plus 3 equals 9. What could possibly have another number that equals 9 when you add 3? 6. Also, when you do like this, equals 9. Well, when you subtract 3, it equals 9. 12 minus 3 equals 9. What about multiply 3 equals 9? What multiplies 3 equals 9? 3. And what about divide by 3 equals 9? 27. So all of these are unknown numbers. They're all different, right? With algebra, you're actually just writing it in a different way. So usually we use the letter x. So x plus 3 equals 9. Okay, you got 12 minus, you got x minus 3 equals 9. Or you have x times 3 equals 9. Now that gets confusing, okay, when you have x times 3 because you have the letter there to represent another unknown number. Or then you have x divided by 3 equals 9. Okay. Now when we do algebra, this is very different. It's basically if you don't have these symbols, okay, this is the same as, so equal to, same as 3x equals 9. Okay, it's implied that you're multiplying the number here times the letter x, another number equals 9. But we write them as 3x. Similar to sort of with this one, you would the same as x divided by 3. So you see it like that. When you see it this way, like that, or like this, these are called expressions. Okay, they're called expressions. Now, what we do have is this letter here. What is that? These are called variables. Okay, so variables is a letter that is represent PR a letter is a letter that represents, not is represents, represents a number. That's one vocabulary. A variable, these are variables. Okay, variables are represented by any letter. Usually we use X, Y, Z as a variable, or it could be A, B, C. So that those are variables there. Okay. So another example is when you go 1 plus 2 equals box. Same thing. We represent it in an algebraic form as 1 plus 2 equals x. So the x is that variable. Okay. So I'm going to keep the variable definition up and I'll continue on here. Okay. So different forms of, here are some other forms of expressions. So the variables in these expressions, y, m, t, okay. This one actually has two variables, okay, x and y. And this one has three, x, y, z. Essentially, variables are different letters, A, B, C. We usually use X, Y, Z. There's another one. And so variables allow you to compare and use arithmetic to solve the problem. Okay. And then use my red one. So then what is this number in front? This is called the coefficient. So I'm going to write another definition here. Coefficient is the number in front of the variable. Okay, so the coefficient here is 2. Coefficient here is 5. Okay, here it is represented as a 1. It's imaginary, but you don't need to write that 1 in. But basically, this coefficient here is 1. Okay, this coefficient here is 7. Okay. And then when you write an expression, say if I use 2y plus 3, okay, or 2y minus 3, okay, this number here is called the constant. So constant let's just double check here. Constant is a number that you would add or subtract. Okay. Therefore, this here as a whole is called an expression. Okay. When it becomes an equation is when we did 1 plus 2 equals the box, okay, which is 3. 1 plus 2 equals x. This is called an equation. Equation. We will talk more about that in the next video, but basically have an expression. This one's an expression, and this is an equation. Okay. Okay. Is there anything else?